In the last part of the movie, we saw our heroine's husband going from singing corny cowboy songs to corny ballads, and apparently he's good at it. So, I'm waiting for the part where the heroine says, "Hey, what about me?" I guess. In any case, let us go forward and see what happens. Onward.
My husband.
Hi. Try this on for size. How's the baby?
Fine. She crawls a lot better.
Faster? Fan mail, Angie?
Yes.
Evening, Mary.
She flatly refuses to close her eyes until her old man sings her song.
Hi, Angel.
Oh, darling, don't pick her up. She'll get excited and then she won't be able to go to sleep.
It's the way I affect women.
Close your eyes, my little darling, 'cause it's time to drift away to Hushabye Island on Rockabye Bay. Hushabye Island on Rockabye Bay.
She's wonderful, Angel.
If it can only stay like this forever, we'll never leave here, will we?
Except for that honeymoon we never had. I won't have you cheated out of that.
This is the best there is. I know it.
No, all you fellas have to do is put over the new show.
Don't worry, at these prices.
Hey, I just thought of something awful. Now we gotta worry about income tax. Good. I plan to announce the deal at a press reception later this afternoon.
Angie expects me for dinner.
We'll have her come into town. You know, it's about time we got a glimpse of that wife of yours.
Okay. Get her on the phone, will you please, Martha?
You ought to move into town, Ken. You're good. But being good isn't all there is to it. And don't think the big names are big just because they have ability. They need to have exploitation. You've got to build them up. Now, you'll be interviewed and photographed. You'll make recordings and personal appearances. You ought to be on hand so we can get you anytime we want you.
Hello, Mrs. Conway. Just a moment, please. Your husband is calling.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't tell her what it's all about.
Hello, Angel. What are you doing tonight?
That's funny. I was just sitting here hoping some nice guy would call me up. Oh, I'd love to, darling. Where?
Now, don't ask so many questions. Just be at Fred Elliott's office at 5 o'clock.
Will there be a crowd?
There'll be a few people.
But I won't know any of them. All right, darling. I'll meet you there at 5 o'clock. Goodbye. Have you finished the baby's formula, Mary?
Yes, ma'am.
That's good. You know, when I used to sing in nightclubs, I was so blamed scared I had to have 2 drinks before I'd even go on.
What were you scared of, Mrs. Conway?
I don't know. Just people, I guess.
You'll have to give him up now, Gert. I want him to meet a syndicate.
Excuse me.
Hello, Angie.
Hi, Steve.
Ken know you're here?
No, he's too involved to notice me.
Oh, that's just Martha. That's Elliot's secretary, Fred. Come here, I want you to meet.
Of course, you're Mrs. Conway. I'm Fred Elliott, Mrs. Conway. It's a very great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elliot.
Because what's happening to this boy isn't due to me, or even to himself. It's due to you, actually. The rest of us just hopped on your bandwagon, you see.
Hello, Angel. I see you already met Fred.
If the rest of you can get your noses out of those martinis for a minute. As you all know, this party was to have you meet Ken Conway. Now I'd like to introduce you to the one and only person responsible for his success, his charming and talented wife, Angelica Conway. Yes, yes.
Martha, darling, tell me about that heavenly young man. What's his new program to be called?
Back here.
It's called An American Sings. I'm so glad you like him.
Oh, thanks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Conway, but he can't possibly be disturbed right now.
Darling, what is this? Why are you so mysterious about where we're going?
Well, it shows a big head, isn't it? We've been married a couple of years. Thought I'd break down and buy my wife a present. How do you like this neighborhood?
It's awfully grand. I can't imagine what we're doing here.
Slumming.
Good afternoon, Mr. Conway.
Hello, Benson. This is Mrs. Conway.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Conway?
Hello?
Take care of the car, will you please, Benson?
Certainly, sir.
Awfully nice to meet you, Mrs. Conway.
Awfully nice to have met you, Jimmy.
Almost forgot. I have a key. There's one for you. Hello, Edwards. This is Mrs. Conway.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, Edwards. Now, look, a joke's a joke.
Remember the tower apartment on Sutton Place you always wanted?
Ken.
Come on, now, wait a minute. You haven't seen the joint yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Come on. Close your eyes. Open.
Oh, Ken. It's enchanting. Here. What a wonderful idea. Darling, what a beautiful, beautiful toy. Imagine Angel's face when she sees all this. Darling, how did you find the time?
Well, Martha helped me.
Martha?
Yeah, she's terrific. I don't see how she did all this in just a month.
No, truly, Miss Gray, I couldn't be more delighted with it.
That's quite a relief, Mrs. Conway. Ken was so anxious for you to like it.
As Ken says, you're magic. You really are, aren't you?
People are arriving in droves.
Well, then
At this point, I feel almost ready to cope with them. How do you do? I'm Mrs. Conway.
All my friends have been dying to
Oh, Michael. If you knew what it is to see a familiar face.
Didn't you know I was invited?
I didn't know anybody was invited till just a few hours ago. Ken thinks it's a good way to break in our new home. Oh, Martha, would you? Of course. Something tells me I'm going to get awfully high tonight, Michael. Stand by for me, will you?
Why bother? Why not just take it easy? These things run themselves, Angie.
Oh, no, they don't. They're run very carefully indeed by the people who know how. Charming, Doctor.
Hello.
Hi, Martha.
All your friends are here.
Hey, do you know what a stone fence is?
You mean a stone wall?
I mean a stone fence, brother. It's sort of like an ice cream soda with conviction. Bartender, would you please give me a cocktail shaker with some shaved ice and some brandy and some absinthe and some Cointreau?
Yes, ma'am.
This is something special.
Insidious, isn't it, Angie?
What, Mike?
All this leisure. So much of it makes you realize what work really meant. Isn't that so?
You mean I could miss singing my lungs out in those gin mills? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. What you need, Mike, is a stone fence. Just about the most colossal drink you've ever drank. It puts poise in apathetic people, if you know what I mean. And after the second one, your spine turns to solid platinum. You take 1 part brandy, 2 parts rye,
Same again, sir?
Oh, thank you. One of those is quite enough. Brandy.
I'll have another drink. I won't get frightened or shy.
Oh, she's a nice little thing, really. But you know radio, full of big stars like Ken and the women they happened to marry before they were successful.
Maybe you'd like to see my baby.
You think you can hold him just because you have a baby?
Oh, Ken, I'm trying so hard. If I could just get some self-confidence. Yes, another drink. Just one more.
Insidious, isn't it, Angie?
You know, maybe I could work again. If I could take up my
I want
singing.
my wife to have every good thing that there is.
Yes, I see, darling. Of course there's no sense in it when you can give me everything. But I'm afraid, Ken. I'm afraid. Ken! Ken! Help me! Help me! Ken!
Angel, what's the matter? Darling.
Darling, hold me.
Darling, you just had a bad dream. I'm right here with you. Angel, maybe if you had a few less when you drink. I'd have nightmares, too, if I drank as much as you do.
I don't know what happens to me. I begin to feel so inadequate somehow. And I need courage, and it gives it to me.
But that's so foolish.
No. Oh, darling, if I could feel it was still us, you and me together. That you need me, the way you did when you were first starting. If we could go away for a little while, a weekend even.
We will, darling. Any weekend you say.
This Friday, then. Just you and me and the baby, anywhere, I don't care.
You bet we will. Well, this Friday, I've got that benefit. Martha's got a million things lined up for me to do.
Then how about next weekend?
Well, next week. We will, darling. Just as soon as possible.